heard a quote that changed the way I preach forever. It's about something that no seminary training or public speaking class can teach you. You see, around 10 years ago, I was at a gathering of pastors and the guest speaker said, "You can preach a good sermon without loving your people, but you will never preach a great sermon without loving them." And I don't remember the name of the pastor who said it, but I immediately wrote this phrase down and I really just chewed on it, stewed on it for a while. Can pastors really preach good without love? I mean, the more I thought about this, the more I realized that this is true. There are plenty of pastors who preach good sermons without love for the people that they're preaching to. They may preach well because although they don't love people, they love preaching. Their people may even say afterward, "Hey, that was a good sermon." Because by all accounts, it was. The timing and the delivery were good. The illustrations were well rehearsed. The pastor was likable. The interpretation of scripture was even solid, but good is all their preaching will ever be. There's just something missing, something that cannot be measured, but it can be felt. Love. Polished sermons don't move hearts. Love does. On the other hand, there are other pastors who preach the same level of a sermon, perhaps even less polished, but they have this genuine love for the people that they're preaching to. Their love is obvious. It flows through them and you hear it in their voice. You feel it in the stories they tell. You see it in their body language and the way they talk. The way they preach cannot be taught, but it is easy to see. First, you must love God. That should be a given. But you can tell when a pastor is indifferent or lacking conviction about the God that they are talking about. If your relationship with God is starved or dwindling, start there. But second, you must love people. A genuine love for people transforms an otherwise good sermon into a great one. Because when you love your people, you know them. Your application points, they're going to hit your people exactly where they are. You speak on a different level because you have taken the time to understand and care about what your people need to hear. It's like how the way I speak to my wife or my son or my daughter is completely different than the way that I speak to a stranger. I speak to my family differently because I know what they need to hear. I speak to my family unlike I speak to strangers because I know how they need me to communicate so that they're going to understand. To a stranger, I will be polite and communicate the best that I can, but I will never be on the same level. There are many good preachers who can turn a phrase and spin a great story. They're engaging, they're energetic and interesting, but without love, they will never reach their full potential. In fact, for many preachers who make it big online, their love for themselves and their lack of love for the people that they're supposed to be serving, it often plays into their downfall long term. Love alone is not going to make you a good preacher. You still need to put in the work. You still need to learn to communicate effectively. But without love, you will never be a great preacher. I think Paul said it best in 1 Corinthians 13, 1 and 2. If I speak in the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I am a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. And if I have prophetic powers and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, and if I have all faith so as to move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. There's nothing wrong with seeking to speak with a golden tongue or with prophetic power or a mastery of logic and wisdom or a mountain-moving faith. Go for it. That sounds amazing. But don't miss the point. Without love, it's all useless. A preacher without love is nothing. You're just one among many other noisemakers out there. You're making a lot of noise, but you're not making a difference. Do you love the people you're preaching to? Do you love them as Jesus commands you to love them? Or, like many pastors I've seen, has the difficulties of ministry caused you to preach with anger towards them, frustration towards them, or indifference towards them? Or perhaps has a love for yourself caused you to preach with a prideful sense of arrogance towards them? Like your sermon is really saying, just be more like me. Yeah. Does your love for God first and your love for people second. Show. Love your people. Really love them. Your preaching may be good without love, but it will never be great.